In this class, we have discussed the case of the solution together with the alloys. In this class, we will discussing about the solution, that is the true solution, suspension and colloidal solution. But before that, I will let you clear how a solution is formed and what are their components. Let us see. If we have a beaker having some water into it, then after that we add sugar to it. This one is water. What we have a beaker having some water into it, then after we have added 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoon of sugar into it. Then what is formed? Then the solution is formed. What are their components? This one is water. This water, it is in larger amount. The water, which is in larger amount in comparison to sugar, therefore it is termed as solvent, or it is also termed as disperse phase. Sugar, it is termed as dispersion medium. This is also termed as solute. What we have? It means when we have sugar together with water, then this is termed as, it means sugar plus water, it forms solution. This sugar is solute, this water is solvent. Solute plus solvent is to give solution. This is all about solution. What we have? The first one, what is solute? Solute, it means the component which is in the component in the solution which is in lesser amount. The component in the solution which is in lesser amount is termed as solute or disperse phase. The next one we will discussing about the solvent. The component in the solution which is in greater amount is termed as solvent or dispersion. The next we have solution. When solute mixed with solvent, it forms solution. If the solution can be in water, where water is acting as a solvent, it means those solution in which water is acting as a solvent, then it is termed as aqueous solution. Whereas in those solution where water is not acting as solvent, it means there were organic solvent, and that is termed as non-aqueous solution. We will discuss based on the nature of solvent. We will discuss the next point. Based on the nature of solvent used or solution is categorized as aqueous and non-aqueous solution. Aqueous, it means in those solution in which the solvent is water, then it is termed as aqueous solution. We represent abbreviate as AQ. Whereas those solution in which water is not acting as solvent, it means we are acting some other organic compound such as benzene, ketone, carbon tetrachloride, that is not water, that is termed as non-aqueous solution. So first one, aqueous solution. The solution in which water is acting as solvent. The solution in which water is acting as solvent, this one, it is termed as aqueous solution and is abbreviated as AQ. The next one, non-aqueous solution. Those solutions in which water is not used as solvent. Those solutions in which water is not used as solvent is termed as non-aqueous solution. In which it means, in case of non-aqueous solution, what we are using carbon tetrachloride. Some organic solvents are there, such as carbon tetrachloride, chlorine, ether, so many other things, benzene. It means in case of non-aqueous solution, we use organic solvent such as CCl4, carbon tetrachloride, benzene, ATs. What we have discussed the solute, which is in lesser amount, the solvent, which is in greater amount, the solution. When solute mixed with solvent, it forms solution. This is solution. The next, based on the nature of solvent used, what we are using. Here what we have used, water. Then therefore it is termed as aqueous solution of sugar. Why? Because water is used as solvent here. It is termed as aqueous solution. If instead of water we use some another solvent, then it is termed as non-aqueous solution. Why it is categorized as such aqueous and non-aqueous? Because water is a universal solvent, and in most of the cases in our day-to-day life we use water as a solvent. Therefore they are categorized as aqueous and non-aqueous solvent. Based on the nature A solution is categorized into three types. That one is solution, the next one is suspension, and the next one is colloidal. How we can differentiate colloidal, suspension and true solution, we will discuss one by one, and in the next we will discuss them all together. But we will first of all we will discuss solution. When we mix sugar into water, it means in that solution the sugar is mixed throughout in the water. It means this is an example of true solution because the sugar is mixed well into water. When sugar dissolves in water, what happens? I have told you earlier that the sugar crystals of sugars are broken down into smaller pieces and they accommodate the interparticle space of the water. By doing so, they dissociate into a very smaller size, that is the molecular size. Therefore, it is also termed as molecular solution. A variety of solution we have, that is a true solution. It is a type of homogeneous mixtures. I have told you homogeneous. It means when the composition is same throughout the mixtures. It means when we are mixing sugar into water, when we are mixing salt into water, when we are mixing a crystal of potassium permanganate into water, when we are mixing a crystal of copper sulfate into water. In all these cases, what we see that in sugar water solution, the drops from every portion of that water, it is equally sweet. Why it is equally sweet? Because the distribution of sugar in that water is homogeneous, is uniform. That's why same is case with all of these. If you have a copper sulfate crystals, when we dissolve into water, then what we see? That the whole water has same color. It means when we see the intensity of the color, it is uniform everywhere. If this is so, then it has uniform distribution of copper sulfate throughout the water. Therefore, it is termed as homogeneous mixtures. These are the example of true solution. We will discuss. Later on, we will discuss about the particle size and their nature or the property of the solution. What we know, we will discuss. We will discuss solution. The first one, solution. It is a homogeneous mixture. It is a homogeneous mixture. It is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. It means in the previous case we have discussed the sugar in water. It contains only two components. One is sugar and the another is water. Then it is termed as a binary mixture or a binary solution. But a solution may contain more than two components. Therefore, I have written here two or more substances. The next, homogeneous, I have told you, uniform distribution it has, and it is termed as solution. In this class, we will discuss only and only binary solution. One new term is common, that is binary solution. The next, what you mean by substances? Substances means they may be element or they may be compound. Substances, it means they may be element or compound. When they are mixed together, then they form solution. Substances, it means what are they? They may be element or compound. Homogeneous, it means it has uniform distribution. One new term is there, that is binary mixture. We will discuss it later on. The next one, we have a variety of examples, that is, for example, when copper copper sulfate dissolve in water. Dissolve in water. Or we can say aqueous solution. Aqueous solution. Solution of sugar. The next one, potassium permanganate. Or salt. These are the various examples of solution. To the next, it is termed as true solution because when we mix sugar into water, it is mixed well throughout. When it mixes well throughout, then it is a true solution. It is also known as true solution. True solution because it is also known as true solution because the solute mixed well in the solvent. That's why it is also known as true solution. We have also discussed that when we dissolve copper sulfate, sugar or potassium permanganate into solution, then dissociate on and goes to a very little size that we call it as particle, that is also known as molecular size. Therefore, it is termed as molecular solution. In this type of solution, the solute dissociates and get into molecular size. Therefore, it is termed as molecular. It is also termed as molecular solution. Molecular solution. What we see? Potassium permanganate, copper sulfate, sugar, salt, these all are soluble in water. If we have a soluble solute in a solvent, then it always forms true solution. The next point we have, if we have a soluble solute in a solvent, then then it forms solution. Solution, it means it forms true solution. To the next, we will discuss the property of the solution. I will elaborate, I will make you understand that what are the properties of the solution. That if we have, by taking one example, if we have a sugar water solution, on mixing sugar into water, when we filter it by the means of filter paper, then we will see that it does not leave any residue. It means molecules or a true solution completely pass through the filter paper, leaving no residue. The first property. The next, it does not show any Tyndall effect. But the problem is that you don't know what is Tyndall effect. Let me understand you what is Tyndall effect. If you have a hole in your room, dark room, during morning when the sunlight comes, then you see that when the sunlight comes from a very small hole, but what we see, it forms a conical shape and is spotted on the floor, which is quite bigger. Why it is so? Because it forms a structure of cone. You know cone? This is so because when the light comes, then the dust particles are there in the atmosphere of the room, which will scatter the light. That's why it forms a conical shape. That shape is termed as, that is known as Tyndall cone. It means, what is Tyndall effect? Tyndall effect, it means the scattering of light. The scattering of light by the means of dust particle leading to formation of a cone, that is known as Tyndall effect. But in this case, in case of true solution, these particles are quite small to scatter the light. That means these particles of the true solutions, they are quite small to scatter the light. So for that, they will not scatter the light and there will not be formation of Tyndall cone. It means the true solution does not scatter the light. It means it does not show Tyndall effect. Let us keep this sugar water solution for a longer duration. When we keep the sugar water solution for a longer duration, we will see that the sugar and water is not going to form separate layers. Why it is not going to form separate layers? Because the sugar water solution is quite stable. So what we got? We got the true solution. It is stable. The true solution, it does not show Tyndall effect. The true solution, it is completely passed through the filter paper. The next we will see, it is known fact that the particle size of the true solution, that means the particle of the true solution are very, very small and they have a dimension lesser than the nanometer. It means their size, their particle size is lesser than 10 to the power minus 9 nanometer. But before that, we will discuss what is binary solution. Binary solutions means binary a solution that contains only two components. It means what we have, aqueous solution. Aqueous solution of sugar. It means when sugar dissolves in water, it contains two components. One is water and the other is sugar. It is termed as binary. As the name indicates, bi it means two. Two means a solution having two components is termed as binary solution. This is all what we discussed. To the next, we will discuss the properties of true solution.